Did anybody see the little snippet? Because like I said, I don't know. With AI, you can't trust anything anymore. So when I get this stuff on social media, but I saw a clip. Somebody had like a it was from Mark Rubio's phone because he's a Secretary of State, so he's always in the Oval Office. But somebody got a snippet, and like I said, I don't know if it was AI. I don't know if it was a leaked audio clip, but it basically was kind of you can hear Elon Musk was crying. Donald Trump tells everybody to get out the office, and like I said, I don't know because you couldn't see what was going on, but people were saying that he was crying in Donald Trump's lap. I don't know how much that is, but I don't know, how much of this is true, but I do know that it's possible. Good morning, Eric. Elon Musk is hurting. The man has lost $200 billion in less than 2 months. But we called it causal sequence, inevitable conclusion, if you know all the pieces. And that's why I took the time to show you all the pieces. You got all of these people in power, and they're not going to come at you from the front end. They're going to cut off everything, your supply chains, your raw materials, your leverage, your credit. And this is not just a US thing. I showed you that this is global. Rothschilds, global. Russian oligarchs, global. Netanyahu, global. A Mexican president, global. I'm pretty sure if I researched Canada, I would find some more up there because Canada put 100% tariff on Tesla vehicles. So I just wanted to kind of show that because that's not done yet. That's not close to being done. 200 billion dollars. All right, give me a second. Let's see where our markets are. Come back to that. All right, so this is the future market. It's sitting somewhere around 42. It's slowly rebuilding. I love to see this. I love to see this. That looks like a healthy market until future market looks healthy. Let's go back. Let's look at the 19th. Oh, this is all today. Beautiful. So this is around 3 o'clock this morning. Got a nice little dip at 3 a.m. See, this is all international. So the market was bearish on international. This is around 1:30 in the morning. The market fell overnight, guys. But here we are in the next day session. I don't know what happened yesterday to cause that. We'd have to go and look to see what happened. What caused the I'm thinking this is European markets. We have to go and try to find out what made the markets fall in the early hours. But here we are right here at about 4 o'clock. Markets rose high, dipped down, came back up. But let's look at the spot market. That's what we really want to see. Obviously, at this point, I don't know if we're going to get that correction with the Dow Jones. Like I said, it was a small chance, because I said the 30 companies from the Dow are in the S&P, are in the Nasdaq, so they probably corrected themselves within that correction of those two markets. So at this point, well, let's see what the rest of the week gives us, because Trump is still eerily quiet. Here we are Wednesday. Let's see what happens today. Today will let us know if we're safe for the rest of the week. All right. I already told you that that NVIDIA has several announcements to make at their tech event that's happening this week, and those announcements and others are driving the markets. So if the market does not turn around today, it's going to be safe for the rest of the week. Like I said, unless Trump gets back on the mic. I want to keep that. Give me a second. That over here. Let's go ahead and load up the rest of the spots, and let's do a comparison.
Hey, Aaron, question for you.
Go ahead.
In 2 weeks, April 2nd, the other tariffs will come in.
Yes.
Possibly, if something doesn't happen before that. Uh, do you think that it would probably drop as we get closer to that? Like,
Yes.
might come up right now, but then, you know.
Yeah. When I say this week, I know that this week is specifically driven by NVIDIA's tech conference.
Oh, yeah.
That's the reason why I say this week, and that's why I said yesterday we're still in the bear cycle, the bear trend, and this is kind of what I was explaining to Lonnie, that when we are in a bear market, we just trade the upticks. We trade when the markets are pullback, and that's what this week is.
Okay.
I'd explained to him in detail. If we have if we have a month of bear, then we choose the week that's bull. If we have a week that's bear, then we choose the day that's bull.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically what this is. We know, and I kind of narrated that yesterday, because we still have the aftershocks of the economic events and the quarterly earnings. So we know that whatever happened last month and in the last couple of weeks, we know that that's still going to be bearish going into those economic events, going into next month's economic events, and then even two months from now, going into the Q2 announcements. So we're going to remain in that bearish trend until those things come out. We're just looking for the bull to kind of stick their head up and say, here we are. So we take it day by day, we take it week by week, and we keep our eye on Donald Trump on the mic,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the thing that could just switch it over, instantly. But if he doesn't get on and influence and manipulate, then we're just looking at the markets. And I said the skill set of trading the bear market is time frame, knowing when to go in and out, knowing to choose the right time horizon. That's the key to finding the bull in the bear. You got to be really good at that transition of time frame. When is a good time? When is the pullback happening? When is the retracement happening? And if you don't learn that in the bear market, you're not going to do well trading in a bear market. You would do better by just walking away. Come back when the markets turn around. But if you can learn that skill set of transitioning in and out of the time frames, you can trade bull in a bear market. And I'm pretty sure I can go out and find a quote. You do not have to short the market. Warren Buffett never shorted the market. Well, I'm pretty sure he shorts the market, but not on the level with all the leverage. Because a lot of people believe that he doesn't do short-term trading, and I've already proven that that's not true. Warren Buffett does short-term trade. It's just not his primary focus. But this is where the real skill comes in. Anybody can just short the market, but it takes skill to wait, take the advice from the billionaires, be patient, wait for the right time. Because I want you to consider something. There shouldn't be a short. It shouldn't exist. Remove it from your mind. It's just another scam. And I've proven that it's a scam because they oversell the shorts. It's just another way for them to make money on you because they can lend you money. It's a part of the system. There should not be a way to short the markets because when the markets go down, that means that people aren't buying. How are you still making money when everybody else is losing money? It's a scam. So wipe it away from your brain. It shouldn't exist in a real market. So how do I make money in a real market with tangible markets going up, supply and demand? I promise you guys, if you listen to me, because all I'm doing is echoing what the billionaires are saying. Yes, they have the liquidity. Let me qualify. Well, Aaron, they short the market because they have the liquidity to do it. You can't trade like them. They can trade with the shorts because they have the money to cover it. I hope somebody's listening because that'll be the first argument. You don't know what you're talking about, Aaron. The billionaires short because they have the money to. They're in no danger. They can write a check the same day. You cannot. Their protection, power, precision, and proficiency is on a different level than you. And one day when you get up to that level, you can start shorting the market. But until then, you get up to that level of money, you can trade crypto. Because I've already showed you that you can allocate 5%, 10% of your portfolio to it. I just don't tell people this. This that dude don't know what he's talking about. I am giving you the best advice from the billionaires. If you choose to tell me that the billionaires don't know what they're talking about, I'm not offended. I just got it from them. I'm just echoing their advice. You're not telling me that I'm wrong. You're telling me that Warren Buffett and David Tepper and Greenblatt, you're telling me that all of them are wrong. So once again, the real skill is not just putting in a short. And you got some people that want to hold the short overnight. Oh my goodness. Cringe. And you wonder why these people wake up the next day and lost all that money. Not only are you in a high risk trade, you want to hold it over several days. And I want to give props Let me go look up this dude's name. What was the name of the guy who called the 2008 crash? They did the movie on it. Does anybody know that investor's name? Was it
Mike,
called The Big Short? The Big
Michael
Short
Burry.
movie?
It should be Michael Burry.
Yeah, Big Short was a movie.
Michael
The
Michael
Big
Burry, yes. And I bring his name up because that man has cojones. Still, for that man, because he wasn't even investing just his money. This man had major investors that were pressuring him, deliver, deliver, deliver. And this man had to keep staying in the market, keep staying in the market. He had to have the liquidity to stay in. Even he was waiting for the market to turn around, and he was losing money or losing his investors' money every single day. But he knew it was coming. He stayed at the train station long enough until the train showed up, and everybody was telling him, the train's not coming, the train's not coming. And every day that man showed up. Not today. It's coming, though. This man had 100% surety. This man never doubted himself. Well, he may have because of all that pressure. Maybe it's not coming. No, 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 no. I've done the math, I've done the numbers, I've done the analysis. I know the causal sequence. It's coming. This is the part that they don't tell you. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, he's a freaking genius." That's not the part you should be impressed about. Being able to call it is not the part to be impressed about. The patience, the discipline. That's the part you should be impressed about. Because he could have known about it, but then gave up. But that man showed up every single day, losing millions of dollars, getting all the pressure from these billionaire investors, talking about, where's my money? Where's my money? He probably had threats on his life. It's coming, guys. Give me a little bit of more time. That's the lesson to learn from Michael Burry. It's not just about being able to call it. You see me, my prediction level is through the roof. I should be a billionaire with my ability to call the markets. But analyzing the markets and executing the markets, having the money and the leverage and the capital to execute the markets on that level is completely different. I had to rebuild after the pandemic. I wish I had the capital that matched my prediction level. Because money make money. I can put in $100,000 trade, $200,000 trade, and I know I'm guaranteed to make money because I have the liquidity to keep the money going. He would never have survived. He would never have survived this if he didn't have the capital to withstand it. That's why I bring up this dude. If you don't have that level of money, you're dead in the water. No matter how good you can predict. Even no matter how much discipline and patience you have. If you don't have the money and liquidity, you're not going to succeed in the trade. So we have to come up with a different way of doing it. A safer way of doing it. Protection, power, precision, proficiency. Believe me, the majority of people do not see what we see. They don't understand what I'm teaching. Some of you may not understand what I'm teaching. You'll come into this room and hear me say all this stuff, and then you go back and do your form and your style. You don't understand what I'm trying to tell you. And then when you lose the money, now my voice wants to echo. I guess Aaron was right. And I know some of you have gone through this. Man, I should have listened to Aaron. That's just Aaron's style. He's way too safe. That's my job. My job is to keep you safe. You guys have heard me say this. If you don't have a mentor that's keeping you and your money and your education and your development safe, find another mentor. I'm doing my job. Are you doing yours? My job is to keep you safe. Your job is to keep you safe. That's what the protection is. We're doing it different. I'm telling you how to do it because you don't have the money. The money is their protection. On their level, their liquidity, their capital, that is a part of their protection. They can put in a big trade and know they're safe. They can hold on to a trade for several months, losing millions. He can hold a trade overnight for weeks and months, losing money every single day. Oh, I'm good. Dollar cost average. I'm good. We don't have that style of trading yet. So we got to trade it different in the very beginning. Once you start to raise your capital, once you start to get to that level, then we can restructure our style of trading. But for now, we got to be extremely focused on protection, power, precision, and proficiency. And then here's the final thing, right? You got those 4 ways, those 4 things that's keeping you in pocket, right? Keeping you on level. Well, think about this. If I have more money, it's like adjusting it. If I have more money as my protection, then I don't need the same level of control. And that's the reason why people are out here in the markets making these crazy bets. Oh, I got enough money. I can raise my protection level because I got more money. So I can lower my control. That's what people are instinctively will do. I don't need to have the same level of protection because I'm covering so many different bets with my money. So I can lower my precision as well. My money is my secret weapon, so I don't have to learn everything. Let me lower my proficiency down as well. Everybody is leading with the money. As their money capital raises, they want to lower the other 3. And what I'm trying to teach you is, even when you do raise that money, keep the other levels up. The best of the best, that's what they do. Despite having billions, they keep all 4 levels up. You don't have to lower the other 3 just because you start making more money. And when you do keep the other 3 levels up, you're going to make more money. Let me give you a quick story. Some of you know that I am a business consultant, right? That was what I did before I did this. And I still kind of dabble. But I would go to clients, right? They find out that what I do, oh, here's my problem, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, here's what you got to do. You got to do this, 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 and this. And then you know what they tell me? Well, I already make money. You see the kind of money I make, Aaron. Why do I need to hire you? And this is the anchor that no one gets. If you're doing all these things wrong and you're making $10,000 a month, do you not think that if you fix these things that I'm giving you, that you're now going to make 20,000 a month or 100,000 a month? But people already think, well, Aaron, I'm already successful. Why do I need you to give me advice? Because I'm going to triple that money. Because if you can make that kind of money doing it wrong, imagine what the kind of money you can make when you fix the things that you don't realize are wrong. But believe me, I have met plenty of clients that have that ego. Nah, man, I'm good. I'm already making money. Okay, I know my value. And then some of them will tell me no. They're gonna go apply what I told them to do, and it may take them 6 months to finally get around to doing it. Their income goes up, and then they want to call me back. Well, and they can't apologize. They can't tell me I was right because that's just going to increase my value in my salary or my fee. So they can't just divulge that what I told them was correct. I already know when I get the phone call. Yeah, so I'm reconsidering about using you. Oh, I bet you are. But that's the problem with people. I'm already making a lot of money, Aaron. Then imagine the kind of money you can make if you start following my advice. I'm going to double, triple, and quadruple your money. Can you imagine? Let me give you a scenario. Can you imagine all those people that made money in crypto? Crypto was sitting at what, 20,000, 40,000 2 years ago, and all those people wrote it up to $100,000. If they cashed out their crypto and they brought that money over to my system, I can literally triple their money, minimum. But those people want to stay in that market like the monkey with the fist in the box because they think crypto is going to go to 1 million. It's impossible. With the system that's already in place, it's impossible. So they would rather stay over in that market with their fist in the box because they don't want to sell, right? Oh, don't sell your crypto. So that's another example of the monkey with the fist in the box. They don't want to sell, get rid of it. Come over to a better way of doing it. Bring all that capital over here, safer way of trading, legitimate way of trading. But they think they're good because of the kind of money they're making. But believe me, 6 months from now, a year from now, when they lose all their money in crypto, they'll take the pennies that they have left, and now they want to come knock on my door. Yeah, man, I saw you on TikTok about a year ago, dude. Can you help me? And keep in mind, I've already experienced this. I've already had investors that come to me that came into my system. They didn't last because they were looking for the get rich quick. Oh yeah, man, I lost like $200,000, and then I came across your program. But their bad habits was so entrenched they didn't last. I don't want you guys to lose money before you realize that this is the best system that you're ever going to find. Is there any comments or questions? You shouldn't have to lose the money to learn the lesson. You should be able to look at somebody else, see what they're doing wrong, and then say, I don't want to do that. That's my biggest thing. You shouldn't have to lose the money to learn the lesson. You can watch somebody else lose it. And that literally is what the billionaire advice is. They learn that lesson, they're passing that lesson on to you because they lost money. How do you think they learned that lesson? You don't have to lose the money to learn the lesson. They lost the money. And now they're passing the lesson on to you so you don't have to. No, Aaron, I got to lose the money first, man. That's the only way that I'm going to lock this in, that this is the best way. Sure enough. Oh, yeah, man, you were right. Warren Buffett was right. Joel Greenblatt was right. David Tepper was right. and you find out who's a real trader in a bear market. Anybody can make money in a bull market, guys. That's the easy part. You want to test your mettle? You want to see if you're a real trader? Trade bear trades. I'm sorry, trade bull trades in a bear market. That's one of the most difficult things you can do. Anybody can put a trade in. Remember I said it's 50-50 chance? Anybody can trade and make money in a bull market. Did you guys know? I'm going to look it up. You guys know that there's like a 70-30 ratio of bull to bear? Historically, out of all the stock market since its inception, the stock market has remained bullish the majority of the time. 70% of the time, the stock market is bullish. Let me look it up. Let's see if I can find it. It's giving me the duration for the bear market. I'm looking for the duration for the bull market. Oh, here it is. Here it is right here. So the bull market is about 5 years, and a bear market is about 1.5. I don't know what that ratio is. Let's divide it. 5 into 1.5. Yeah, about 70%. 70% of the time, the market is bullish. It's a way easier to make money in a bull market. The real skill comes in making money in a bear market, especially when you limit yourself to only bull trades. No shorting. Shorting is a scam. Do we have any questions on any of this? Let's see where it is. All right, just making sure we don't have any questions. If we don't have any more questions, comments, concerns, I'm going to do the master class. Let's look up NVIDIA real quick before we do that. GTC. I'm going to try to post some of these articles in the student room for you guys today. Here's a schedule. Oh, I did want to mention this. He's announcing something called a quantum day. I guess this is a new kind of thing that he's doing. He's kind of focused on quantum computing, and he's introducing something called a quantum day. And I kind of want to see where this goes. He has a lot of developers. So I'm really gonna kind of watch this. And I don't know what day it is, but believe me. Cyberdyne system, guys. Now, if everybody remember the master class that we've been giving away, this is day 45 of the 90-day, 30-day, well, 30-day challenge, getting into the 30-day simulation, and then getting into the 30-day execution. We're in the 30-day simulation, so we're focused on how to simulate. So here we are, 45 days. We already did the 30 challenge. Now we're halfway through the second 30 simulation. So here we are at day 45. And we've given you all of the things you need to do in simulation, step by step. So here we are at the very end, and we're going to take you through a 7-phase trading routine. We're going to take you step by step through the trading routine. We're going to show you how it benefits you. We're going to show you how to implement it. So here's the first one, day 45. We're taking this all the way to day 60. So we got another 15. We're going to get through this 7-phase routine and get back on another lesson. But here we are, first phase, initialize phase. It gives you, well, first off, it gives you all of the phases here. We're taking the first one, which is the initialize phase, where you prepare. Mental preparation gives you all the benefits, and then it'll give you exactly how you can implement it. Ways to prepare. All right. So this will be available for the students that are in the masterclass. And then by the end of this week, here's 7 days, we're going to initialize, organize, analyze, strategize, optimize, realize, and incentivize. We're going to go through each one of these every single day. So by this time next week, we would have finished the routine. Then we'll get into the next lesson. All right, but I'll try to have this posted for the students by noon. Just bear with me. All right, but the initialize phase is the most important one. And as I said, guys, I don't have time to sit down and make sure you guys are in the simulation and applying this. It's not how this works. You guys are students. I keep telling you, come back to the masterclass. No one is coming back to the masterclass, so I'm going to keep posting and keep moving. I'm waiting for somebody to come to me and say, hey, Aaron, I looked over the worksheet. This happens, this happens, this happens. What do I do now? Okay, now we can talk. Now I can implement my mentoring. Until you do that, I'm going to give you the worksheet and I'll leave you alone. So if you've ever wondered, well, why doesn't Aaron show me anything? Because you're not coming to me and asking me anything. Because if I was to try to go through all of this, you get confused. And I would rather just give you the information and then each person comes back and say, well, Aaron, I don't understand this piece. Okay, let me show you that piece. Because if I try to show you everything, you're going to lose something. So I need you to look over the worksheet. That's why I give it out. Go over everything, go into simulation. If something doesn't make sense, when you're applying it in simulation, it just doesn't work out for you. You don't find the level of success, come back to the master classroom, ask questions. Your question is a question that somebody else may have had. Your problem is a problem somebody else may have had. So when I answer it for everybody. But if I was to literally come in this and then try to explain everything all at once with a video, you're going to get lost. That's the reason why I'm doing it in this format. Here's everything, apply it. When you get to a piece that you don't understand or that's not working out, I can guide you through that one piece and then we can keep going. So I'm going to keep saying it. Come back to the masterclass. Let me know what problems you have, especially when we're breaking it down day by day. A daily assignment, daily task. At some point, if you're doing it consistently, you're doing it every day, I should be getting questions in the master classroom. Well, what about this? What about that? What about this? Okay, let's hit that up. Bing, 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 bing. Here are several other steps. Because I already showed you that your biggest teacher is not going to be me. Your biggest teacher is going to be your fails. So I would rather give you the assignment, let you fail, and you already learned that lesson. And then now I can come on top of that and show you why you failed. Then go try it again. Oh, now I get it. But if I gave you every piece of success, you're never going to fail. And that's your biggest teacher. Failure is always going to be your bigger teacher. And if I don't give you that area to fail, I'm not doing my job right. Because believe me, you're gonna remember that failure way more than any words or education that I give you. You have to fail. And I'm smart enough as a teacher, mentor, coach to allow you to fail. That's how all of us learn. And there are so many people that don't have that style of coaching and mentoring and educating. Let the person fail. Some people don't learn audibly. They don't learn visually. They learn physically, hand-on-hand application. Oh, that's how this works. Oh, that's why that didn't work. So there's always this nice little room that I give you to apply and fail. Once you fail, you come back to me. I'm going to show you another way of doing it. And now when you go do it, you see a better way of doing it. You're anchored on the fail. This worked out, and now you can compare the two. Click. Got it. Let's make sure I never do that again. And as long as you're doing it in simulation, you're not losing your money while we're training and practicing. So once again, this is the next assignment. Going into the routine, we're going to be doing the routine for 7 more days. So between now and next Tuesday, we're going to rock this. Let's start with the initialize phase. We'll go into the organize phase, then analyze, then strategize, then optimize, realize, then incentivize. Now, keep in mind, we're in simulation, right? So number 5, the optimize, that is simulation. So it's built right into the routine. But we're not just optimizing the trade. Everything is simulation from start to finish. You got to go through the entire routine. You got to go through the setting everything up. You got to go through the meditation. You got to go through this. Your simulation is not just going inside your broker program or your charting program. That's the real optimize. Your entire routine is the simulation. So even though it's a fake trade, even though it's fake money, you want to go through the whole routine. You want to simulate every step, every phase. Otherwise, you won't have that muscle memory. Because when you get into a real trade, you should already know what's coming next. If you hesitate 1 second, it's going to cost you money and cost you to trade. That's what we're learning. We're learning muscle memory. All right, so hopefully I'll get some questions on that. I noticed that the markets did not give us a good trend yesterday, and that's the reason why I told you that I was not going to do a secret session, because NVIDIA announcements came out, but the market was still bearish. Let's see if we can show you that. I watched it all day, and I'm like, this is why I didn't do the secret session. Let's go back and look at yesterday. I think the markets fell at the open. Let me see if I can find it. 18. Yeah, here we go. The markets fell at the open. Now, keep in mind, this was NVIDIA coming in with all their announcements. Sure enough, at the open, is that it? No, that's here's 9:30 here. So that was the previous day where the markets fell. Here's where the 9:30 came. Markets fell again. Markets fell again at like what, 11? It was a bearish morning. And this is the reason why I say I don't know if NVIDIA is going to be able to prop up the markets. Let's hope today is going to be different. Let's hope. I try to give you guys a disclaimer before you do it. Today the market was a little bit, this morning the market was a little bit bullish. But remember I said the time frame. If you zoom out of the time frame, this is consolidation. Should we really be trading in that consolidation? Probably not. This is a perfect example. You got to know when you can trade and when you can't. And if the market is doing that, if you're zooming out and the market is either consolidating or bearish, you don't want to trade. You only want to trade in the bull trends. This is a skill of going in and out of the time frames. It's easy to put in a bull trade. That's the easy part. This is the most difficult part. You're going to learn the most lessons trying to trade in a bear market. If you ever was to simulate, now's the time. Because you don't get the bear market to be able to learn this. So easy to make money in a bull market. Transition out of your frames. When you see the market is going up, your 3 higher highs, you can get back in. Even when you see the market bottom out, you know a recovery is coming. So you have to time the markets going down and coming back up with announcements. That's your timing. Go in and out of the markets. Look at the price action. That's giving you a signal that the markets are going to turn around. Now let's go find a catalyst that's going to make it turn around. Oh, here's an event. This is going to give us expectation of this, and this. Oh, the markets are going to react this way. Let me go ahead and find the bottom of this trend Let me look for the reversal on this trend. And when this event comes, it's going to drive the markets this way. Let me find my entry. Let me find my stop loss. Let me find my exit. Simple, simple, guys. This is how you trade a bear market. All these other people are taking the easy way out. Let me short the market. Let me use this leverage. Hopefully we can show you an example of this. I'm going to take the rest of today and go through maybe some other NVIDIA announcements that are coming out. And maybe we can show you that. I remember I said I wanted to start implementing some kind of some example sessions of simulating. I might do that this week since we are in a bear market. But we'll see. I will play it by ear. And believe me, I'm still listening for Trump. Eerily quiet. They got the correction they were looking for. Fragile times. They can't keep pressuring it. They can't keep manipulating it. They got to leave it alone. Let it do what it does. Let it stabilize. So we're gonna let all this NVIDIA event go through, at least for the rest of the week. At this point, I don't think Trump's gonna get back on and say anything else. Hopefully not. I'm gonna see if I can find some videos. So Transformer, in the movie Transformer, when the robot comes in, the Terminator comes in and targets the main character. The guy that Kyle Reese, I guess the guy that came to hunt down the Terminator, he gives her a story of the future. He says, "Oh, you don't have to worry about that now. In 40 years, that's when they'll make the Terminators." The movie Terminator came out in 2028. Inside the movie, that was the date that they came back to, 2028. 2025. No, 1985. 1985. That's what it was. 1985 is when the Terminator came back. Kyle Reese said We don't have that now, but in 20 years, they will develop the technology. So if you take 1985 and 40 years, that is 2025. That is now. And that is what I look at every time I see the video. This man is building the Terminator robots. I gotta go back. This man is building something different. I don't know where he got the technology, but everything this man is developing is futuristic. Things that we have seen on TV and movies for over 100 years. And he's literally building the infrastructure. I don't even know what half this stuff even means. So let's just watch. Let's see what things are released this week. And then the big thing is remember the competition, how are other companies going to take these announcements when it enters into the industry or sector? Are they going to adopt it? Are they going to come up with a better version? That's what we're looking for. That's what's really going to drive the markets. Who's going to take this technology that's coming out and come up with a second version of it? That's the causal sequence that's going to drive the markets. He's introducing the first version. What about 2.0 and 3.0 and 4.0? That's what all of these tech conferences are introducing. You got to look at it long term. We're not looking at how it's going to affect the markets today or this week or this month or this year. How is this going to factor in for the next 5 years, 10 years, and beyond in that sector, in that industry, in that corporate environment, in that competitive environment? And that's what I said. The number one secret of causal sequence is competition. You're not going to know, but you can get an idea of how the relationships will work. So these are the moments that's going to have this shockwave going for the rest of 2025, going into 2026 and beyond. Every single thing that NVIDIA introduces is being introduced into the competitive environment. And then now everybody's taking it and then kind of repurposing it, adding pieces onto it. And then NVIDIA sees what somebody else did, and now they take it from them and they add something onto it. They dump it back into the markets. Oh, look at what they just did. They take it back and now they're adding stuff onto it. And that's how competition works. So you got to have that causal sequence mindset. How is this going to look in 5 years? What is the energy source that's going to drive it? These are the pieces that are going to separate your analysis while everybody else is looking at charts. You're analyzing in your brain causal sequence. So like I said, I will find some articles, I'll find some videos, and I'll find some event dates. And all you got to do is watch the bear trend and then match it up, line it up with the new event. And then that's when you're going to see the markets turn around. Let me say it for you one more time. You watch the bear trend, You know it's going to turn around because every market has a pullback. And unlike everybody else looking at charts, you have the piece of why that chart is going to turn around. Everything is not built into the price. That is a lie. We're going out and finding the thing that's going to make the markets turn around. And all we got to do is sync that up. Ooh, that's right. This event right here is going to have this interaction, this response. The sentiment is going to change because of this. And if we do that, we have an advantage of when the markets turn around. Everybody else is looking at patterns, flags, candlesticks. Bump that. No, sir. We want precision because the institutions are manipulating that price. So we don't want to watch the price. We want to find the value. Oh, that announcement is going to add value to the markets. And when they put that value in the markets, the sentiment is going to do this. And now everybody's chasing the value. And what do we teach you? The price chases the value. The price chases the value. All I do is echo, guys. So maybe you didn't get it the last time I explained it. Let's go through the details. We are value hunters. We don't chase price. We don't care what the price is. Most likely that price is being manipulated. Let's go find the value. Let's watch the price. Let's wait for that price to hit a certain level. Here's the value that's being added. Now let's watch the price chase the value. It's that simple. 99% of everybody in the market is going to chase that price, not knowing why the price is moving. Just watch the news, man. They're coming out with 15 reasons why. They're listening to all the echoes. And as I've said before, NVIDIA is the infrastructure of every other corporation. So if NVIDIA is adding all of this technology to all of these supply chains, what do you think is going to happen to the markets? Everybody's value is going up, not just NVIDIA's. And once this value is applied to the markets and price meets value, those are the moments when you make money. When current price meets future value. Let me say it for you again. The trading opportunities happen when current price meets future value. When those intersect, that's where the money's made. So now the price and the value match. The market is in sync. Most people look at NVIDIA's announcements and they apply it only to NVIDIA. I look at it as the infrastructure of the entire global economy, the corporate structure, the global supply chain. I'm applying it on that level. This is going to go way beyond just NVIDIA. And now that they're getting into consumer products, we can see the application on both sides. And this is why a lot of this is looking it up. When I tell you guys to go look it up, I don't understand half the stuff NVIDIA comes out with. So I just right click, I find a word or a phrase that I don't know, I'll right click it. Let's see if I can show it to you. These are not letting me do it. Let me go back up here. Stop it. I'm assuming these are images. They're not letting me click on it. Give me a second. Let me find one. Maybe I can click on one of these. Oh, not letting me do it. Give me a sec, guys. It's not letting me click on these things. Come on. Go down to the bottom. Yeah, it's not letting me click on these things. Oh, there it is. Got it. So let me find one. Try to find a term that I'm not used to seeing. Stop it. Um, let's try this. Real-time generated AI video. So if I right click, I can hit search. I highlight it first and I can find a search. Let me find it. Where's it at? What the heck, man? All right, let me go back up here. It's not letting me do it. Let me find another article. It's not letting me do it on this one. All right, so all right, let's do this. I'm going to highlight Quantum Day. I'm going to right click and right here, search Google for Quantum Day. And this is how I research. I click on that, it opens in another tab, and now I get everything on Quantum Day. So I'm able to update myself on certain terminology while I'm doing my research. I'm not going to skip over something that I don't understand. So if I come across something that I just don't get, I right click it, bring it up. Let's find out what this is. And okay, let's keep searching. Let's keep researching. And I can click on these articles to get a better idea of what that term is. Most times it's either some kind of an Investopedia article, and then I go back to researching and analyzing. April 14th. I guess that's going to be the day. Quantum Day is April 14th. That's how you know you're powerful. When you can create a international day. World Quantum Day, April 14th. So when I put these articles and these videos in the student room, that's what you're looking for. I'm gonna try to find the schedule. Here's the GTC schedule here. I'm gonna post this in the room. So this is for quantum computing, but I'm gonna find the actual schedule. Got to give me a second. I'll find it sometime today. But if you can sync the market movement with the NVIDIA schedule this week, you're going to find the trading opportunities. And the best time to do it is in simulation. That way, if you fail, you're not losing any money. I'm hoping this stuff is. I'm hoping this stuff hits the markets, man. It's a very volatile time, very uncertain time in the markets. I'm not sure it's going to work. That's half the problem. The two things that we're battling right now, and I would say three things. We're battling the tariff wars, we're battling Trump affecting the markets, and we're battling the fear and uncertainty of the markets. And there's not supposed to be a battle. If there's a battle, we don't get in the markets. That's my style. I'm trying to keep it open so that you guys can learn your own style in simulation. So when you realize it doesn't work, no problem. It's not for me to tell you it doesn't work. Sometimes some people got to go out and experience it for themselves. But when the market is this volatile and this uncertain, it's better to stay out. If I can find some other catalysts of why the market is going to go up, I'll share that with you in the student room as well. NVIDIA is not going to be enough. We need other catalysts. And I'm going to be taking the time today to find those. Hopefully you will be able to do the same thing. But I don't think NVIDIA is going to be enough. But we're going to monitor this all this week up until Friday and see if this is enough value to change the direction of the market, even if it's just short term. Do not lose sight that we're in a bear cycle. The moment you start thinking that we're in a bull cycle again, you're going to lose your money. Remember your time frames. All right, guys, if there's no more questions.
So one quick question.
Go ahead, Q.
Because I don't remember you mentioned about the rate decisions impact today. Did you mention that? I must have missed that. Did you follow me? You hear me?
I've been having a problem with my sound on my TV. I don't know why it won't transition over to my TV. I'm listening from my laptop, but so it's a little muffled. Say it again.
No, I was wondering about this 2 p.m. rate decision, and its possible impact with the not just NVIDIA, but that today. Because if they do anything significant, that may change things, right? Yeah.
Okay, so anything dealing with the central banks or the Fed is going to be similar to what the Powell did 2 weeks ago, because Trump is just giving all this bad news with the tariff wars and all of this. So I mentioned that Powell knows the power of his voice, which is why he made that announcement 2 weeks ago. So he knows that, and all of the governors understand the power of their voice. So and I did say that when the correction was done, everybody is going to position everything is positive in the markets. Everything is positive in the economy. So I'm not looking for them to raise or lower interest rates. I'm not looking for them to give predictions on the next, rate announcement. they're just going to give a lot of positive and bullish metrics to kind of counteract the markets right now, because they want to counteract the fear and uncertainty. They want that market to recover.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're coming out of that correction. People are very cautious. And that was the prediction that I made, right? Almost 2 weeks ago. I said, we're going to go through this correction and then everything is going to turn positive. The institution is going to make sure that, remember I said the phone call? They're going to call everybody. Don't you say nothing bearish in your announcement. Everything should be positive. So even when they do come out with any of those announcements with the central banks or the Fed, they're gonna basically kind of confirm the economy's strong, the spending market is strong, the inflation is strong. Now we know, because we actually look it up, that it's not as strong. Like, we're still in this bear trend. We still have the aftershocks of the tariff wars and all of this. So believe me, we're no longer near some kind of major recovery. That's not going to happen for another 2 months as we go through the economic events and the Q2 report. After that happens, then we can start looking for some kind of recovery. But they're still going to be injecting positivity and bullish sentiment into the markets. And the sheep are going to eat it up. Because they refuse to do any research themselves. Any other questions? That was a good one. You guys have a very unique power, a very unique ability, a very unique position to where you research everything. 99% of traders do not. That's your edge. Not just the edge of finding value, not just the edge of not looking at price. You can find the signal in the noise. Everybody else is blind, and what do blind people do? They follow noise. That's your edge in the markets. You're not blind. But because you're not blind, if you were fighting a blind person, couldn't you tap on different things to distract them? That's what the institutions are doing. And that's why they can take their money hand over fist every single day. Distract them with some noise, take the money out of their pocket. When they take their money out of their pocket, a lot of it's going to fall on the ground. A lot of it's going to fall on the table. That's where you're going to make your money. You don't have to target their pockets. Institutions are going to take the money from them, and there's going to be so much of it that it's going to fall on the ground or fall on the table. You take your money from them. Symbiotic relationship. The hyenas follow the lions. They get the scraps left over. The buzzards get the scraps left over. There's a lot of money to be made on these transitions. And I remember a quote, can't remember which billionaire said it, but he said, I make the most money on market tops and bottoms. This is one of those. He didn't say I make money when the market's going down. He didn't say I make money on the market going up. I make money on the tops and bottoms. Because at the tops and bottoms, there's a transition. There are traps in place. because those sheep don't know they're falling off of a cliff. And you can sit around and wait for them to fall off the cliff and eat up. And that's the crazy part, is that they think that that's how trading should work. This is what everybody does. No, it's not. That's what the losers do. We don't want to be a part of the herd. We want to be a part of the hunt. But we're going through a bottom. We're waiting for the bottom. Correction has already come. Now we're waiting for what happens at the bottom. This is where you make the money. The money, the cycle is going to come around, transition into an early entry, and we're at the very beginning of the next rally, the next trend, the next cycle, the next market. We ride that up to a middle entry where everybody else is coming in. They're coming in late. Our trade is done. We're moving on to the next. Stock market is a living entity with cycles. And all we got to do is pick the right moment. That's the reason why we're looking for cycles. That was the whole benefit of the webinar we did last weekend. If you can predict the cycles with the Fibonacci sequence and all of this, you know exactly where the point of entry, the point of exit, the point of turnaround, you know where the trap is at, you know where the trap starts and the trap ends. Trading is very, very simple, guys. But some people are trading so much and they think that's normal. I'm supposed to be in the markets. No, you're not. You're supposed to be out of the markets, waiting for the right moment. Everyone thinks that trading is difficult because they're doing it like everybody else. We're showing a very unique way to make trading simple. And believe me, I'm working my butt off to make it as simple as possible. All right, if there's no more questions, we're going to go ahead and get off. I want to thank everybody on TikTok, guys. As you notice, I don't really show you the presentation on TikTok. I'm working on maybe coming up with a presentation on the weekends. I'll let everybody know. But for now, this is going to be the format. If you want to see the full presentation, you either have to join the community or you would have to go to YouTube. But other than that, I'll be back on TikTok tomorrow around 7:45. Everybody be safe. Don't lose money in the markets. We'll see you guys tomorrow around 7:45. I'm going to go ahead and get off of YouTube as well. Thank you, Eric, for showing up, my friend. I hope you're learning a lot.